Welcome back to The Pursuit of Everything with Levi and Warner, where we pursue everything from wealth, to business, health, everything else in between. So today I'm joined with Cozi, my sister, and today we're going to start talking about goals. It's going to be the first of the year here soon, so we want to talk about how we set goals, how it's kind of evolved over the years, and how hard I am on Cozi all year about her goals.
This year you were kind of easy on me.
I was.
We had a weird year.
We had a rough year, yeah. Real estate market down, family stuff, but we still trudged through.
Yeah.
Still made it happen. So let's kind of start about how you like to set your goals. How. Well,
I guess we can. Yeah, I guess we can kind of talk about how it's evolved, right? So it used to be, right? You set small, obtainable goals, is what everybody kind of does.
Right. Or the New Year's resolution. New year, new me.
Yeah. It's like the ultimate Monday.
Right. A good diet always starts on Monday.
Obviously. So, but then after kind of like listening to different podcasts and educating and whatever, then we started setting really high, stupid goals.
Unrealistic goals that what's funny is when we started doing it, it just seemed kind of off the wall and like not even obtainable. And then all of a sudden you hit those goals and you're like, well, holy crap, I've been underestimating myself all this time.
Yes.
So it came from an Andy Frisella podcast. And he says, why set small goals when you can set on really huge goals? And then even if you get 3/4 of the way there, you're farther than where you were before.
Right.
So that's kind of how we start. And then I went to a workshop and Milet taught his power 12 system is, so that's what we do with our staff. And now I started working with a couple of people that I'm coaching, doing that as well. So first my favorite part is you start off with a word for the year. That's my favorite part. And
did you pick your word for this year yet?
I'm debating.
Yeah.
I'm thinking so I'm a big fan of gangster movies. So last year it was Ghost from the show Stars. So, but this year I think I'm going to take a little different tactic and go for leadership. Just because our team is growing from all our subcontractors, our staff, our suppliers, people asking me to coach them. So I want to become a better leader. So that's kind of my word for the year.
You're still going to have to come up with a better word. Ghost is way cooler.
Ghost is way cooler.
Leadership.
Ghost is way cooler. Maybe like a Scarface type of vibe.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think your word's going to be?
I have no idea.
Right.
I haven't even really started. I've just been kind of kicking around goals.
Right.
So far, I haven't really got to my word. I have a couple different things I need to work on.
What was it last year?
I can't remember.
This is how lax I was on Cozi last year.
Yeah. Yeah, it was an interesting year. Wasn't it like dominate or something?
I think so. You did not dominate.
I did not. I did not. That's the hard part too, is I kind of feel like that's part of like setting your goals every year is I always like to go back and kind of see where I landed on the ones I set the year before, and it was not.
Right.
I wasn't even close.
So what are you weighing between right now? For
my word?
Yeah.
I'm not even like close to finding my word yet because I need something cool too, not like lame like leadership.
I'm also thinking I want to pick up a bunch of market share. So that's a big one for me. So maybe like Debo from Friday, squeaky bike.
That's not really. He has no leadership skills.
It's more like bullying.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I think I do at baseline.
True.
I will say last year I hit my weight loss goal.
Hey, that's huge.
And it was a big unrealistic weight loss goal. So I did hit that. So that's a big win. I did not hit the houses built goal or the houses sold goal. But that was a product of the market, not from anything else. So I also think that I'm not a resolution guy. Like it's not like, because this is the most consistent I've been. This last year, I was super consistent on everything.
Did you finish Live Hard?
I have the 30 days left at the end.
But when does that start? It should be like
it should be soon. Yeah.
To where you're going to be working out outside in February.
Right. So are you going to do it this year?
Yeah, I need to finish it this year because I didn't finish.
Have you done all the phases?
No.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've done all the phases.
I told you I was a big loser last year.
Right.
This last year was rough for me. And I did not hit any of my goals.
Right. So one of my goals is going to be to grow this podcast.
It's a good one.
John's going to help with that.
That's where John comes in?
That's where John comes in. Appreciate that.
Another thing I like to do, I actually was just thinking about it, is I always put my goals as my screensaver.
Right.
On my phone. I haven't updated it in a few years, though, to where it's like, I need to update it.
You didn't update it even last year? Mm-mm. God, you were a loser last year.
I know. But it's funny that looking at what my old goals were, because it was, I mean, now I'm like, that seems pretty easy.
Right. And that's what's great about setting the goals, and then, because then you grow, right? You grow as a person, you grow as a business owner, and you just keep pushing forward. And that's what this whole podcast is about, is the pursuit of everything. A little plug.
So obviously we both do it in different areas of your life. So kind of, do you want to talk about what we both kind of typically do? Right. So I always do a fitness goal. So this year I want to lose another 20 pounds, which will put me at the lowest weight that I've been in 20 years. Wow. Yeah, that'll put me, in that 240 range. I'm a big fella. So did you have you wanted to run a 10K without stopping?
Yeah, so last year I run a 10K because I am not built for running and I do not enjoy it. So I wanted to run a 10K, which I hit that goal. Mm-hmm. So this year my goal there is to run a 10K without stopping, because there was a lot of stopping this year. There was little old ladies passing me, women with strollers.
Always, yeah.
Oh yeah.
The little old ladies are always sneaky fast.
Oh yeah. Well, they've been doing it a long time.
And I on one of my runs that I did, there was I would run until I gassed out, and then I'd walk for a while, and then I'd get passed by this little old lady, and then I'd run and I'd pass her again, and then she just stayed steady Eddie, right? And she kicked my ass at the end, because we were doing that the whole way. I'm sure I annoyed her.
And what was your fitness goal for the year?
I'm thinking I probably want to lose another 20 to 25 pounds. I think I am going to try a trail run. Is going to be mine. I haven't been doing trail runs because I'm afraid of snakes. Right. So my thought process is I'm going to go do it somewhere colder, like Helena. Right. Where
Alaska.
Apparently they don't have snakes. I
don't buy it, but
I don't buy it either.
Canada's free this time of year.
Yeah, I'm not going that cold, but because we have so many rattlesnakes around Billings that I don't want to do it here. But then I hear more up in the mountains, they don't have rattlesnakes. Right. Which I don't know if I believe, but
right. Your goal last year was to do a half marathon, right?
And I did it.
And you did it. That was fantastic.
I did too.
Right. I was a team mom. I was fantastic. I brought the snacks.
You did. You did. I also am going to set because I'll do another half marathon this year. I'm going to set a time goal this time. Last year it was just I just wanted to not die. Right. And finish it. So not have to call to have someone come pick me up. I will say there were a few points where I was I wonder if I could get an Uber.
Right. And there was a stream. You thought about jumping in and just riding it down. Right.
100%. I was I wonder if I could float that. Right. So a fitness goal.
I always said a houses built goal. Mm-hmm. So this year in the state of Montana, I think I want to hit 80 houses this year, closed. That'll be 40 in Billings, probably 20 in Helena, and 10 and 20 in
Your Bozeman. Math is off. You're not mathing there.
Yeah, I haven't thought that one through yet. Maybe so. We were thinking 50 in Billings, 20 in Helena, 10 in Bozeman. Yeah. So I think that's a big goal. Mm-hmm. We did 60 in Billings one year, but that about killed everybody. Yeah. That was rough. So I think we'll do that. We set a real estate goal, a realtor goal. We'll set a big ugly goal there. I think we've got the team in place to do that, which is exciting and which is important, getting your team straight. Yes. So
another thing kind of on that goal, one of the things I need to work on is leadership. Speaking of having this team in place. I hate leadership. It always seems to fall into my lap. I don't want to be a leader.
You're definitely a soldier. Leadership's a hard thing to master.
Yeah, I just want to do my thing. If everybody would just do what I do,
right,
I'd be fine. But that's not how it works. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So working on leadership is a goal I'll have this year.
Leadership's tough. So on the team area, I'm reading a book called Buy Back Your Time, which I gave to you, which I don't think you've started reading yet.
No.
And one of my goals is going to hire an executive assistant just for me.
Oh.
To handle my life, my everything. I think I need like a little old lady.
Probably.
Mm-hmm. To handle, your inbox, your calendar, all of the things.
What are you going to be doing?
Selling. Right. The more that you and I are out selling, the more we'll hit these goals.
Right.
Right. And that's where we drive our business is our sales.
Right.
So that's a big thing for me this year.
That is a big goal for you this year. I normally set too, like, I feel like we both kind of do, like what word am I looking for? I do set a monetary goal every year of like how much money I want in the bank kind of thing. I also set like something that I want to buy as a goal every year. I haven't thought about that.
What was it last year?
At this point, I think it was a rental,
which
I didn't do.
Yeah, you did. You got Helen HQ.
That's true.
Yes.
Okay, check. Yes.
So the buy one rental, we've talked about this on the podcast before, is I buy one rental a year. So that'll happen again. So that to me, that's just the way to build wealth and getting that inventory up. So that's a big one.
Yeah, but like in years past, it was like I wanted earrings, or like you wanted a car,
right?
And so but then it's just a good goal to work to. And now the earrings like seem silly, but at the time it didn't.
No, it was a big deal for you.
Yeah.
Another one of mine is to get my pilot's license. So I've been working on that. Hopefully that comes to fruition this year. So I can fly us to Helena and Bozeman and back.
That would be nice.
Or anywhere else you want to go.
Vegas.
Vegas, not North Dakota.
Well, North Dakota too.
Right.
You're going to be flying us to North Dakota. So, this I kind of am stealing from the
Ed Milet.
Yes. So you pick your one word.
Right. Not leadership, apparently.
No, do something cooler than that. But like good questions, kind of figure it out. What do you want to create in your life?
Right.
What could you use more of in your life? What could you use less of?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what are you committed to? So those are all good words to kind of.
So the big thing from there is less. That's why I want to hire the executive assistant. Mm-hmm. So I'm doing less of like the clerical work like that, which helped. John and doing the draws helped a ton last year. Mm-hmm. That way, if we're out focusing on sales and growing the business, and then I'm not returning emails to lumber companies and that kind of stuff. So that's one thing I want to get less of is the day-to-day monotonous, type of stuff that just you don't like. I use my inbox as a to-do list, and that's a big no-no in the world of production. So that's a big thing for me. What I need, what's the other one? What you need more of?
Yes.
I need more planes in my life.
More money.
More money?
I can put it in a jar.
That's right. That's where you come in. Right. Little wedding singer reference there for anybody that doesn't know. So those are two things I really want to work on.
Yeah. John, have you set goals for this year? Or is it something you normally do?
It is something we normally do, and my wife and I have actually done like vision boards.
Love vision boards.
Like we have our goals, but then we have like the kind of the pictures that associate with
each
of them. We haven't done it yet this year, but
you're running out of time.
Yeah, I know. Today and tomorrow.
Right. We got to get John a rental.
Yes.
Yeah.
That needs to be on the vision board.
Yes.
We need John to be getting wealth.
True.
I feel like I don't know that I've ever actually made a vision board. Have you?
I have not either. I need to.
Yeah. it feels in my brain, it feels a little silly to like cut stuff out of a magazine and tape it to something,
right.
but
yeah. And you're supposed to have it visual, like where you see it every day.
Right.
Like,
well,
by your desk.
that's why I have like my goals on my phone, on my screensaver. Yeah.
So that's one thing that I have on my leadership thing to work with Cozi on is, so I just learned, like, so every time we need to create triggers in our lives. So like every time I started just doing this the last couple of weeks every time you get in your car or you get into bed or sit at your desk, like you look at your goals and like snap your fingers or do something physical. Like, so it triggers your mind. There's something in your mind that every time like you get in your car, since we're in and out of our cars every day, that you need to like look at your goals and snap your fingers and like do that every single time, 3 or 4 times a day. Huh. So that was one of the things that I was going to talk to you about during our meeting.
That was one of the things you were going to boss me about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the triggering the goals, like it's great if people do vision boards and that kind of stuff or make lists. But if you're not looking at it every day,
you forget.
Then you forget about it.
Yeah, that's what happened.
If you're not looking at it,
we weren't looking at it enough. When we actually met pretty much everything on there.
Right.
Oh,
and then
cool.
We kind of fell off, and then we were like, we didn't do most of that stuff. But it was interesting to see the difference of like when we actually were like looking at it often, and
right.
It made a difference. It
makes a huge difference. And so like the people that I'm coaching this year, like I'm checking in with them weekly.
Oh.
And seeing how they're doing with their goals. I'm doing like a check-in, text, call, something like that. And then the other thing that I do with my staff and everybody that I meet with to go over goals, we go through them quarterly, because what happens is what do they say? Everybody's New Year's resolution, like 80% of the people are not following them by the second Friday in January or something. So to keep that in mind, so like let's just take my 20-pound weight loss goal, right? Like I've got a bunch of travel coming up in Q1. So if I'm by March 1, if I'm not a quarter of the way there, right, then I know if I look at it by March 1, then I have time to make up for that. Right.
Well, because we had a conversation yesterday so I was just thinking, what I need less of in my life is excuses. Right. So that's going to be my word for what I need.
I can't wait to talk trash to her all year long.
Oh, you just hold on, because yesterday Levi was saying like, oh yeah, I'm going to set this big weight loss goal, but I have all this travel and like, and it's going to be, and I was like, you have 10 more months.
Right.
Like, what are you talking about?
Right. That's my point is if you're looking at it, in February and most people won't look at your goals again until October. And then by then, like it's not feasible to reach those goals. But if you're keeping track,
right,
then you're more likely to hit those goals.
Right. The other thing that's nice is we do have each other to hold each other accountable, because he was making excuses about it, right? Of being like, well, I have this big goal, but I have all this travel coming up.
I do.
And I was like, well, you can also still work on it.
Work out. Oh, I can still do it.
Yeah. You don't have to drink on your trips.
I know. That's what I need less of. I need less of Cozi bossing me next year.
That's going to be your less of bossing. I think you need more.
That's what you need more of.
No, you need more of my bossing. That's funny.
That is funny.
But no, so good point that you were looking at them and hitting them as you were refreshing them. And I feel like we did good last year kind of too, first quarter. And then we just had like life happened and it fell off. And I literally this whole year just felt like I was treading water.
Right.
But the market was
and we drowned a few times.
Yes. Yeah. And the market was tough.
Market was tough. It was a tough year, but we came out ahead. So
yeah,
this year is going to be much more focused.
The part that I think was hard for me mentally is I'm so used to like, in the last 7 years, I've doubled every year, right? I've doubled production. I've doubled my money. I've doubled like everything. Mm-hmm. And then this year I didn't double. I actually probably stayed pretty close to the same. So I think that's why it feels like a failure of a year. Right. But
I think this year was tough economically for everybody. So I think you probably doubled what other people were doing.
Right.
What were we going to ask you?
A lot of people probably would have gone backwards.
Right.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I remember. Sorry. So, like, when hard things happen, what do you do to kind of not beat yourself up? Because I feel like sometimes I struggle with, it's like, well, I didn't meet the goals, and then it's easy just to kind of let everything fall to the wayside and just kind of wallow in it.
Right.
Oh, 100%. Mostly I do that like with fitness goals, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah, 100%
like if I'm like, oh, I didn't hit my, like, right? If you look at it, oh, so first quarter, I'm not going to lose what I need to lose. Like, there's a real strong part of me on the inside that would be like, I might as well just eat pizza and ice cream and sit in my pajamas.
Right. And that's one thing I think that we're both good at, like, especially work-wise. If something doesn't go our way, it's just put your head down and keep grinding on it. Right. Like, that's like, let's just do more open houses. Let's do, make more contacts.
With work, a lot of the times, like, I feel like we say it to each other a lot. It'll be like, you just got to go like back to the basics, right? Like, get back to the basics, do your thing. But it's the same thing with fitness or like a weight loss goal or a health goal or whatever. It's the same thing with anything. You just kind of have to go back to the basics of it.
And this year was my most, I was talking to my wife about this the other day. This year was by far my most consistent with the gym and eating right, to where when, you go on vacation and you eat a bunch of tacos and drink margaritas, then you just keep working out. Even though you're eating bad.
You did do really good about getting right back on.
Yeah.
The other thing that I feel like helped with like, right, the things you can't control. You can't control the market. You can't control these things. Working out through that stuff helped. Right. And it was because I could control that. I could control if I still went to the gym.
Right.
When there was other things I couldn't control. So it was like having that control of something, I think helped.
The dumbest part about the gym is like, you feel like you're tired, you're beat down. In your mind, you think I need a rest day or I need to hang out and watch TV. But if you go and do the exact opposite, you feel better. Your brain works better. Like, I'm learning now, I have to, and this is me because I'm just wound so tight all the time and I'm not good at idle time, is if I'm exhausting my body, then it helps me control my mind. Like, if I get that workout done, if I just go for a walk, like it helps that anxiety to, for the things that you can't control.
I haven't tried this yet, but I also hear this back on the exercise thing is that, like, if you have a hangover, you should go work out, and I call bullshit, but I haven't tried it. So
right.
I'll try it someday.
Hard. So yeah, controlling your body, exhausting your body to control your mind is one thing I learned this year, because it helps me get rid of the anxiety, the stress, because they're the things that you can't control.
Right.
So that's a big thing for me. Another thing that Cozi's awful at, if we want to keep on this tip, is reading books. Like, 10 pages a day.
So stupid. So literally, like, part of 75 hard is you have to read every day. And I always take so much out of the reading. I'm always like, at the end of it, I'm always like, God, I got so much out of the reading. And then I stop doing it.
Right. Yeah. 10 pages a day. And what sucks for me is I'm a slow reader. Like, I'm very remedial at a lot of things. But just sitting down, taking the time, reading the books, getting a little nugget here and there, it helps, especially with a leadership goal.
How do you feel about audiobooks? Or do you feel like there's value in actually like sitting down?
I think there's value in actually sitting down, highlighting, taking notes. I like audiobooks too. I do both.
To kind of highlight on that is what I don't like about an audiobook or like a podcast or whatever compared to actually reading it is like, I do it reading. I'll like start thinking about something else, but then I can go back and find my spot and read it.
Right.
Listening to like, I do it all the time. I'll like get sidetracked during a podcast or like during an audiobook, and then it's gone. I never.
Yeah, I have a friend who actually was doing something kind of cool. I was going to do it and then never did. Is he'll listen to it like a chapter, and then he'll go back and read the chapter. So then he's like double taking it in, which I think is a good idea.
Oh, that is a good idea.
There's lots of good good stuff. To me, there's something about flipping a page. It feels more gratifying.
The one book I will say I did, the 50 Cent business book. I read it. And then I listened to it on audio, like during walks, and I took a lot out of it doing it that way. So I like that.
I also like to reread books. Like we talked about the Donald Trump Art Art of the Deal book. I think there's books that you should go back and reread a few times. Dale Carnegie.
Are there any books, maybe The Art of the Deal is one of those, but any other books you recommend just business owners or other entrepreneurs?
Absolutely. Dale Carnegie, the Art of Influencing People and Making Friends is probably the best business book ever written.
The Compound Effect.
The Compound
Effect. It's like a
right?
short little read, but it's like
It's
so
fantastic.
logical.
I love the Tim Grover books.
Yeah.
I'm a sports guy. Winning and what's the other one?
Relentless.
Relentless. Those are fantastic. Those are a couple that I reread every year. The Seth Godin books, any Seth Godin book about marketing is fantastic. There's lots of them out there. Good to Great is a great business book.
Yeah.
There's so many.
Yeah, there's a ton.
And I constantly am buying books and giving them to Cozi, and I know she never reads them.
Some of them.
Most of them.
I have a whole stack of books that I haven't read. So, yeah.
So.
Are there any goals that you have besides reading
haven't read,
your routine? Like maybe not a weight loss goal or a specific monetary goal, but just like routine that you want to have?
Water.
Yeah, hydration's huge.
Yeah.
For energy, it's crazy. Gallon a day, and that's easy for me. I know a lot of people struggle with drinking water. I'm a gallon a day, but I've been like that since I started working out. Like when I first started working out, it was all about getting bigger, and hydration is a big part of that.
So, but what's funny though is like you don't think about. Right? Like most people go through their life and don't think about like their nutrition or their hydration or whatever, but think about like Angie right now.
Right.
She hasn't been feeling good for months and months and months and thought something was wrong. And then it ended up just being she wasn't eating enough.
And not hydrated.
Yeah.
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 So.
Like going to the doctor not feeling well and they couldn't figure out what was wrong.
And that's the best part about 75 Hard, the program, is the routine. And that's when I function the absolute best, is when I have a routine. So that's a great question. So one of my goals is, so like the best part about the Power 12 Ed Milet is that you set a goal and then there's like little mini things that you have to do. So back to my weight loss goal, I'll work out every day and I'll have to hit 10,000 steps a day. I'm also saunaing and cold plunging. I want to do it every day, but sometimes that's just not going to happen. The cold plunge for me is a stress relief. It takes so much stress off my plate that it's pretty tangible when I don't do it. Like I can tell. I hate the damn thing, but it works.
I was gonna say that this cold plunge is part of anxiety.
Oh yeah.
Even just thinking about it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I have anxiety like getting in the damn thing, going out to the garage to do it, but it works so well for that.
Huh.
So yeah, so the water, reading, working out, steps, that's kind of my routine. And I function so much better when I have those in my life.
But then what's so stupid is I feel like everybody probably does it, right? We both function so much better in a routine, but then it's like you get out of it.
Right. Everybody does. And that's the key, is just getting right back to it. Not letting the day slip into a week, which is what I used to do. It'd be a month before you know it.
Start a diet on Monday.
Right. Right. Eat Taco Bell.
Until your diet starts on Monday, obviously.
Right.
Then you fall off on
Always.
Wednesday. Yeah.
Always. Yeah. So that's been key for me this year, is when I do fall off, getting right back on the train. That consistency is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's hard. It's easy to beat yourself up. I feel like that's what's hard, is like you beat yourself up, but then when you're beating yourself up, it makes it harder to get back on.
Yeah.
Right.
But like giving yourself some grace, like,
right.
Hey, like I did this for 3 weeks, and just like you can do it again.
Yeah.
You did it before.
Yeah, and you almost have to like get that. You just have to be like, no excuses. Like, start right back up.
Non-negotiables in your life, right? And I was the worst. And I used to get so mad at myself. Like I'd lose 15 pounds and then I'd put it back on. And I'm like, why am I re-losing the same weight over and over again? Like it's the absolute worst. So this year, I will say again, it was the most consistent I've been. I didn't have to lose the same weight over and over and over again. I feel
like that's a huge win for you.
It is.
For considering what the last year has been.
Yeah.
Good work.
It was good. Thank you. I'll take that one. So,
yeah.
What other big goals are you setting?
I don't know. I just have been kind of flirting.
Right. You're running out of time, like you told John.
I know. But I've been flirting. So mine will be like a tomorrow, New Year's Eve. I'll sit down and write them out, knock them out.
Right. And it was fun for me is now that I'm helping other people with them, it's keeping me on mine.
Oh.
Like it's kind of a self-motivation, or accountability.
Right.
To where, I can't expect other people to hit their goals when I'm slacking.
Right. You're like sitting there eating a pizza, drinking a beer, being like, what?
Loser didn't work out. It is something I would say.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. Having people hold you accountable is a huge thing. Having a tribe to help you, and it's kind of fun. Like I met with Angie, our office manager, last week on her goals, and I told her what's fun is we get to do this together. This is a fun process that we get to go and hit our goals and make ourselves better together.
Oh, absolutely. It's always so much more fun when you have a group of people to do it with. It also gets interesting when then maybe you start noticing separating from certain people when you're pushing towards your goals and they're not helping you achieve them. So, which I feel like that could be a whole nother podcast.
Yeah. And I love the fact, John, that you do it with your wife. Like my wife, has big goals too. So it's kind of like we're in Cozi, right? We're all family. So we're kind of like this big machine working for great things together.
Are you making Jocelyn do her goals with you again?
I am.
How'd she do on hers last year?
We haven't talked about it yet.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm sure well. Because she does those things well where we slack. Yeah.
I'm also friendlier. So
I'm also prettier. I'm more likable.
Right. She has her own area she's slacking in.
Right. Yeah. So.
I have one last question for you guys.
Sure.
You talked a lot about fitness. So, how do you feel like your physical health affects other areas of your life, of business and everything? Like, do you see a difference when you feel like when you've lost weight? Do you see a difference?
Absolutely.
In actually the business?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Like the vanity part is one part of it, right? Like if you look better, you feel better.
You're more confident.
Right? But for me, it's the energy level, right? So a couple of years ago, I was over 300 pounds, and I didn't notice it then, but I was tired all the time. Where now you're just more productive. Your mindset's better. Your body feels better. The confidence level is a huge part of it, especially in sales, right? Like if you show up, you're not sloppy. Your clothes fit good. You look good. You feel good. You perform better.
Yeah. Plus you get those those endorphins after workout, right? So like I will typically work out in the morning and then I feel good all day long. And then if you feel good, you're more productive. The sales just come easier when the energy.
Even, mid-afternoon is when most people get that down feeling. And so now I'll just go walk around the block a few times. I'll just go, hit 3 blocks. And that just makes you feel so much better.
Well, and it's so stupid because we both, do 75 hard every year. And then you, in the middle, is it middle? Probably, where you're like buzzing. You're like, you're so on point with everything. You're so like, everything's just working how it should. But then it's like, why do you stop?
Right.
Well, because it's hard, obviously.
Hard. Right.
But it's like keep some of it going.
Maybe the reading.
Maybe.
It is
hard.
It is hard.
Yeah.
But just one a day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if it's a walk, right?
Yes. Or keep the water going.
Yeah.
And I guess the freaking reading.
I think the outside workout is the most beneficial, to be honest with you. There's something about being outside with the sun, the fresh air. It does suck in Montana when it's cold.
Yeah.
But then you feel like a savage. You're like, nobody else is out here. I'm the only person. It's 20 below.
People are stopping and asking if I'm okay.
Is your car broke down?
Right. Yeah, it's happened to me.
Yeah.
The wind.
The wind is the worst.
Yes.
Yeah.
You really want to feel savage, do like your dumbbell workout outside.
I've done it.
Walk around with.
Right.
Right.
But a couple of years ago, you did burpees out on your patio because it was so windy and cold and nasty.
Yeah, it snowed like I couldn't walk. There was like too much snow. It was like high step, right? Like it snowed like 2 feet. It was that year we had like record breaking snow. So I had to like shovel a spot off on my patio and I just did burpees for 45 minutes.
Yeah. They're the worst.
I don't know what else. I didn't know what else to do. I was like, whoa.
I just start walking in place. You're like, this is good.
I always tell people that, the CrossFitters and stuff, because we did that for a long time. Like when you play sports growing up, when you got in trouble, you had to run or do burpees. And I had to do a lot of them. So I don't want to do those anymore. So,
the best is Levi's story about how he used to hold his breath to make his face turn red
yeah.
to pretend he was running.
The coaches weren't as smart as I was. So I think setting goals is big. Ditch your resolutions. I don't think those work. New year, new me is a bunch of crap that people want to feel good about themselves. I also think people need to be a little harder on themselves. Mm-hmm. I think we need to push to be better. And I think if you're not going forward, you're going backwards. So I think that's why we set these big, outrageous goals. Mm-hmm. We shouldn't be. I'm always happier when I'm striving for a goal.
Absolutely.
When you're just living status quo, I just don't think that you're reaching your full potential. And as human beings, that's what we should be doing.
The interesting part is this year's Levi's making his kid do goals.
I am.
So
he's 23.
Yeah.
It should be an interesting time. And
is he open to it?
Or he is. Well, he works for us, so he has to do it. No, but he wants to do it. He just bought his first house, so that was a big milestone for him. So now we just have to get him in the right direction. I wish my parents would have, sat me down and had the, pushing for
absolutely
for excellence goal, right?
Yeah.
So and I think as parents we should do that with our kids. And it won't be far off for him because he's an athlete and he played sports. So when you have that mindset, the best part about business is it's like a sport. You're an athlete, but there's never an end. Like it's never like, we didn't win the championship this year. Okay, so we had a rough year last year. The good news, we just get right back on it in 2025.
And it's right. It's not only 4 years. It's not like you have 4 years to wrestle in high school.
And then you're done.
Right.
So that I think.
So what I'm curious about is, let's be honest, he's not going to have his own goals. You're going to set goals for him.
Probably. Well, we're going to teach him how to set goals, right? And what he should be setting. Yeah,
right.
You absolutely have to start somewhere. So. And this will be the first year that my wife has sat down with me to go through her.
Didn't she do it last year?
She did not.
Oh, I thought she did it last year. Okay.
No. So whatever we're doing is rubbing off on people and working.
Well, you got me thinking. Even our oldest daughter just turned 10. But now I'm thinking about just goals that we can help her set.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Reading goal. Like she loves reading. How many books do you want to read?
Right.
This year.
Right. Keep your room clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
right. Make your bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that even for me, I guess
making your bed is a
not making my bed, but like something that I didn't make it like a goal for the year, but just with Christmas and it like all the time off everyone was taking and like people binge watching TV shows and whatever. I have been trying not to like watch TV and do stuff like that. I've been trying to like keep busy around the house and with work and doing whatever to where it has, my house is like spotless because instead of just like sitting there, I'm up just kind of putzing around, right? Cleaning and whatever to where it's like, I'm going to keep that rolling.
Right. And all this extra time she still hasn't read anything.
I did just finish a whole freaking 9-hour class. Thank you.
So I think, we'll end it with, let's go set some big goals and go get it this year, right?
Yeah.
You can find me on Instagram at just Levi Wanner, and we're the pursuit of everything. Let everybody have a great year, and we're here to help. Thanks.